Welcome to Booking the Wrestler episode 7. Now before I get started, a couple of things. One, for whoever's been watching the videos because they don't got big numbers at all, thank you. I wasn't sure if anyone's going to watch these. I thought maybe just one person would see it, but a few dozen have seen it. I thank you very much. I hope you've been enjoying them. It's been hard to do them, but it's inspiring. So it's been giving me some ideas for certain things. So I thank you very much for anyone who's been watching. Now, let's get on to a little bit of cleaning here. I'm actually kind of nervous about this one because I really want to get this one right. But this is episode 7 out of maybe 2 more or 3 I'm going to do. Maybe up to 10 episodes. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's one more after this, but I don't know if I'm going to do another. Now, in each video, from now on, I'm going to put the the first 6 of Booking the Wrestler that I have done already. That's going to be a lot, but I think it should be done. So if you want to review the shows that I've done, the episodes, you got a chance to see them all. But right now, we are going to focus on Eric Young. Now, I'm not going to add any other image than Eric. And just like the other videos I think I'm going to make, you will see only the person that starts it, not everyone that's going to join them. Because I'm thinking about making this about group efforts now. Because these are side stories. Now, Eric Young at this moment is working with Joe Dorling. And Cousin Cody of the Deaners. Now, this storyline is not going to stick in my Booking the Wrestler. It ends at Hard to Kill. Like all the other episodes I made, Hard to Kill is where everything starts. And in this case, Eric Young tried to get the title this year. He won the title but then lost it to Rick Swann. This coming year, 2021, he goes up against Rick Swann again. Joe Dorling is with him and Cousin Cody. But at the end of that story, he loses them both. He does not keep Dorling with him. He couldn't stand him. And Cousin Cody snaps out of his basic mind washing. So you got him all by himself once again. And he realizes he made a mistake. And this is what Eric Young says on one of his promos after the show is over. I tried to take ordinary people and make them see my point of view. I was stupid. I'm trying to make people into monsters when I need monsters like myself. I have always stated that I am relevant. I have always stated that I am power. I have always stated that I am everything. I once had a group called Sanity in a place far, far away. And now it's time to get those kind of people back. I am sanity. I am justice. And I'm going to find the right people to see who they truly are inside. Not turn people into what they should be, but what's already there. Because the 2 I dealt with, they didn't have it. I will look for those who do. For the next 2 months, he starts searching not only Impact but AEW, seeing if there's anyone that's like him. The first person he sees who has his nature but has been hiding it is Crazy Steve. Crazy Steve, for quite a long time, who once was part of Decay, has been hiding what he's been for quite a long time. And Eric Young comes to him because he had been losing matches for 3 straight months after Hard to Kill. He lost to Johnny Swinger. He lost to Raju. He's lost to TJ Perkins. He's lost to Falaba. He's lost to both members of XXXL because he was playing with them. He wasn't following his true nature, what was already there. Dorling, and this is what Eli is saying in a promo before he meets him and goes to the back, because he says this after nearly 3 months, and he goes to the ring. He says, I found my first member. He'll see me soon. He has gone through everyone and has lost. Dorling and Cody did not have the nature inside them. I tried to bring out the nature that I thought they may have, but they had never had it. Now I found one of my first who's always had it, but was trying to hide it because he wanted to fit in. Now I won't need to fit in anymore because he belongs with me. He goes to the back and he looks for Crazy Steve, who's in the back licking his wound because he just got beat by Swoggle, of all people, with the help, of course, of Rhino. He's angry and frustrated, and he goes up to him. Eli says, and I quote, "What are you doing? Why are you hiding who you are? This doesn't belong to them. This place doesn't belong to them. It belongs to you. Why hide what you are?" And he looks at him and says, "What the hell are you talking about?" And he looks dead in his face. His face is like this face. I mean, this close. And he says, "Who the hell do you think you're lying to? I could see it in you. I can see the true nature you're hiding. You were showing it once before with Decay, and you loved it. Now you change yourself to try and fit in because there's no more Decay. No Rosemary is with you. No more Abyss. You're now hiding because you don't want to have trouble, and it's gotten you nowhere. Take my hand and let Themis guide you." And he looks at him and says, "Themis?" And he says, "Isn't that the Greek god of justice?" "Yes." "Take my hand. Find true justice." And he does. He didn't hesitate. He was tired of getting beat. So he goes with him. And Crazy Steve disappears for 2 weeks. No one sees him. Eric Young says when Eric Young is interviewed, and they said, "What happened to Crazy Steve?" He says, "Themis is with him. He is now going to show his true nature." On the 3rd week going into the next month, he finally shows himself. Dark. He wears nothing but dark clothing. He still has the face paint, but he doesn't have the monkey. His music is gone. No music. He walks out to the ring. He goes in the ring with TJ Perkins. TJ looks at him like, "What are you doing?" He doesn't show any facial movement. He doesn't show any type of emotion. He's in the ring. He just stands there waiting for the ring bell to go off. And when it does, he runs at TJ Perkins with a vengeance. No words. He beats down on him and he loses the match. No words. He literally knocks out TJ Perkins by beating his head in. When security comes to try and stop him, he shoves back the ref. Security comes to try and stop him. He shoves back security. And then only Eric Young, who comes out and he says, "Stop." And he stops. Stands up. "Come, brother. Themis waits for you." And he walks away. Out of the ring, up the ramp, into the back. And we don't see him again for a month. Within that month, Madman Fulton is still dealing with Ace Austin, and there, Ace is winning, and Madman Fulton's getting nowhere. For months, Ace has been winning. Madman Fulton has had matches he hasn't won. He's helping Ace, and he's been getting frustrated. He's getting tired of it. And then he finally choke slams Ace Austin. And this is within the month while Crazy Steve is gone. While this is going on, Madman Fulton's in the back, acting like a caged animal, and it's Eric Young who walks up to him. And he walks up to him while he's pacing back and forth to one of those steel containers, like boxes. And he hammers his hand on it and makes him look at him, and he growls at him. And he says, "You're angry. Good. Good to see that's your true nature. Your rage is your anger. Your anger is your revenge. But revenge has to be tempered. Revenge gives you nothing." And he's looking at him like, "I'm going to kill you." And he says, "Do it. I'm right here. Take me. Grab me and throw me onto this container right in front of me. Go ahead. But when it's all over, you'll still be the same damn way." Your anger and rage and revenge will give you nothing. You want to be a champion, don't you? You want to be more? Then you need Thamus. He says, who is that? Justice. He walks away. The next 2 weeks, Fulton has 2 matches. He doesn't win either one. He basically disqualifies himself twice, beating down an opponent similar to Crazy Steve. And security goes out to him again, and he walks out. Eric Young gets at the ring, and he stands dead nose to nose with Madman Fulton, who grabs him by his neck, and he doesn't flinch. And he looks at him, and Madman Fulton, for some reason, just isn't willing to chokeslam him. He chokeslammed everyone in the ring, all security, even the ref. And he's looking at Eric Young, and he does not chokeslam him. He looks at him. He's angry. He has a mic in his hand, and he says, still angry? Want revenge? Look around you. You've done this now twice. Where did you get? You've been fined $10,000, and you'll be fined another $10,000 for what you just did. You got rage. You got anger, and you want revenge. But where does it lead you? Nowhere. You don't need revenge. You need justice. You need Themis. Sorry, I'm saying Themis. Take my hand. Come with me. Come to balance of judgment. He says no and walks away. And Eric Young shows no expression of happiness or sadness. He looks back at him. And that was at the end of that show. Now, you got Slammiversary that comes up. Madman Fulton has a match against Rhino. Rhino beats him because Madman Fulton got too angry and he whacked his head into a turnpost trying to hammer in a Rhino. He gets stunned, concussed, and he falls back and then gets pinned. That next impact, Madman Fulton is so angry he goes to the ring and says, Rhino, come out here now. I'm going to rip your head off. Rhino comes out, and guess who's right behind him and knocks him out? It's Crazy Steve, still wearing black. And then Eric Young is right with him. He says, look at me. Where are you now? In the same place. Join us. He walks up the ramp and he says, why should I join you? And he says, because you've always been one of us. You don't fit in. And you've never been able to understand who you are. You want judgment. You want truth. You want Themis. You want justice. The hand of Themis is right here. Take it. This time he does. And he disappears for almost 3 weeks before he returns. All his braids are cut off when he finally does return with Eric Young. Wearing black. Eric Young himself wearing black. Steve, no longer Crazy Steve, wearing black. They all walk to the ring. And you see him, Eric Young in charge, and says, we are the hand of Themis. The hand of judgment. The hand of judgment is here at Impact Wrestling. We are going to have justice for all of us. We've always been different, and every single time we tried to fit in, either doing it the hard way or the easy way, we lose. We're not doing that anymore. We are going to conquer everyone. So from now on, you're on notice. No music. The hand of judgment does not have music. So the Hand of Judgment faction is begun. And for 3 months, they go through a tear of Impact. Steve wins the X Division title. Then, Madman Fulton and Eric Young win the tag titles. But they're not done yet. Someone was missing. Someone needed to be joining them. But they didn't know who. So they went to AEW looking around again. And there's one person who just doesn't seem to fit in. Who just doesn't seem to make sense. Who had just lost the TNT title. And that is Darby Allin. Eric Young approaches him and says, "Little one, you have given everything with no fear, with total and complete control. You are part of the Hand of Judgment from the very beginning. We can get you what you truly want. The World Heavyweight title can belong to you. Join us. Do not have fear. The Hand of Judgment is by your hands, by your side. We will give you what you want." When he heard this, he didn't believe it at first. So the next AEW Dynamite, again, he tries to go for the TNT title, and at this time, the one who has that title is Pac. Pac has the title, and Darby Allin gets his ass handed to him. Royally. By the Death Triangle. He gets destroyed by Death Triangle. Doesn't stand a chance. And he attacks a ref and loses everything, owing $10,000 to AEW and Tony Khan. And he didn't want to pay it. But guess who does? Eric Young. He pays the 10 grand to Tony Khan, and he goes to Darby Allin and tells him, "Look, you've been waiting for this for so long. You gain nothing. Join us." And he does. He goes to Impact Wrestling. He stays there for a while, working with Steve and Fulton now. He's not Madman Fulton, just Fulton, Steve, Eric Young, and Darby Allin. Basic construction of a faction. The X Division title has been defended by Steve with no problems. Madman Fulton, or Fulton, with Eric Young, has the tag titles at this time. The world title is around the waist of a Rich Swann. And he says, and this is Eric Young to Darby Allin, "Do you see him? He's your goal. Claim yours. Claim it." All three of them are at one time. This is a month after, 2 months after this situation happened when Darby Allin joined the Hand of Judgment. And when it comes down to it, for those 2 months, he goes through the entire roster of the lower card, mid card, and main event. He goes up against the wonderful Sami Callihan. He beats him clean. He goes against Raju. He goes against, well, let's say Singh Brothers. Come there. Yeah, from WWE. They go there. They're jobbers. They do it. Several other people from the indies show up. Squirrel. Marty Squirrel shows up on Impact Wrestling. He gets beat. He's only temporary. He goes through everyone there and then gets a shot to go after the world title by Bound for Glory. When they get to Bound for Glory, Darby Allin gets his shot at the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight title. And now at this time, Rich Swann still had Willie Mack by his side. But he also had TJ Perkins by his side as well as his friend, because he didn't trust Eric Young, he didn't trust Fulton, and he didn't trust Steve. He didn't trust them. So he wanted muscle there. They didn't interfere. Eric Young said, "We don't need to interfere with one of ours. He's going to beat you clean." And at the end of the night, you have Darby Allin versus Rich Swann for the Impact World Heavyweight title. And he goes up against him. And not just Rick Swann. He doesn't trust, and this is Darby Allin, he doesn't trust TJ Perkins. And he definitely doesn't trust Willie Mack. He does a coffin drop on Willie Mack that splats the hell out of him. And he knocks out TJ Perkins. And then he completely beats Rich Swann clean in the center of the ring. 100%. Once he beats him, few weeks later, after his defense the next week, and then another defense from TJ Perkins, because he tries to get a shot and he loses, he goes to AEW. And he goes in front of the entire crowd there and says simply, look at me. Who I've become is not a fluke, a joke, not even a dream. It is reality. I am with the hand of judgment. We have always been different. We have never fit in. And we've always tried to fit in, to play by the rules. Not anymore. I don't care about any of you. I have this, and I'm going after the TNT title, and I'm going to take it. And he goes up against Pac again. But this time, Triangle does not become a factor, because the last time Death Triangle was a factor in him losing. Eric Young, Fulton, and Steve are there. They stopped him. And in the end, you get Darby Allin winning the TNT title, and he's now the Impact champion. And because of that, he goes back to Impact. And he goes in front of everyone, because now there are crowds. And he says, look at me. I'm a dual champion. I'm your world champion. And I am the TNT television champion. And I am the hand of judgment. Eric Young comes in front of him. And with his tag championship, Fulton with his tag championship, and Steve with his X Division title, they've said, we have done what no one ever expected. We are champions. But it's not complete yet. We need one more. I am now going for the AEW title. And the next time you see us on our joint effort of All Out, I will be champion. 2 months later, when All Out comes out, because Kenny Omega is the one who's the current champion at AEW, he goes up against Eric Young. Eric Young destroys Kenny Omega. Even though the Elite backed him up, they stood no chance. He beat them completely. Because Fulton, Steve, and Darby Allin kept them at bay. Even though they were outnumbered, they still won. And Eric Young became a Impact Tag Champion and the AEW World Champion. And all the men's titles now belong to the hand of judgment. There you go. I don't know if you're going to enjoy that. I hope you do. And I hope you enjoy this Booking the Wrestler. Give it a like. Tell a couple of people about it if you can. I don't know why I'm saying this, because very little people even see this. I hope you enjoy it. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.